What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. The early rounds of YCS Vegas are on right now. The coverage is amazing, so I wanted to go into the market and the changes that happened going into this YCS so that we can see the actual impact of the YCS on Monday, because usually a huge YCS like this ends up wrecking the market. Starting out with cash tier, it's about where it's been at. It's the deck to beat, but if it really takes a huge cut of the pie chart, you might see for the WCQ season, people start to go, okay, fine, this is what I'm gonna be playing, and people going for that. Triple tactic thrust came up even more going into this weekend, and that's not just for orders on the YCS because they want to get in time, right? So it went from 75 to 80. People are seeing this grab triple tactics talent, board breakers, other such cards, and it does seem to have a heavy impact in here, and it's going lower on quantities right now. On the sealed photon hypernova itself, since core sets are a huge speculation, the starlights aren't doing the hottest or the worst right now. I will say gold pride captain starlight might be something to consider. You are heavily speculating though on if it will be good or bad updates heading into the next set on that archetype, but at the same time it's a world premiere archetype, so we don't know how that will improve. Will the next pieces actually just take it to the next level? And they are doing products based around this, a binder, a playmat, sleeves, so that entire kind of bundle for a TCG world premiere archetype could be a sign that they'll make it really good, and speculation alone could end up making this rise and bubble up heading towards that next set. But again, that's speculation. Right now it's around the price of a junk starlight in the 100, 110, and being a waifu, I think it'll probably end up going up, but the question is how much just from that speculation. Now, on the lower end of the set, the Gold Pride cards are up even more with Gold Pride Leon now around $7, and people are speculating more on the lower end along with this, aren't they? And in the middle here, we do have Gravekeeper Inscription, which we'll talk about. We've had to bring it up in too many of these market watches. But yeah, for the sealed, I feel like super long term, the starlights aren't really there in order to be pushing this, but in the immediate for the metagame and how people are seeing the set, it still could end up going up even more. Triple tactics talent itself also is way up for the starlight, for the secret rares, even the pharaoh rare getting bought out here. So a lot of people are going for this on the lower end, the higher end, and it's getting far more expensive in this metagame. You have Pot of Prosperity similarly, but I want to point out that the Konami Pot Collection is still up for sale, meaning they either didn't plan to do a set number of these, but rather a set time and take all orders there, and people won't necessarily want to play with a Hobby League prismatic-ish-esque card, and it's funny they compare it to a prismatic secret rare, but actually, I think they said Starlight Rare in the description that we were making fun of on Twitter. When it comes to this, though, like, Hobby League cards are thicker, parallel rare cards are usually thicker, so unless they've completely reworked that, it'll be weird to see. And it is on OCG cardstock, which gives me some sense of it'll probably be better and playable double-sleeved, where it won't be identifiable in the deck, and you will be able to play with those cards, but I don't know that it's going to have a huge impact on the other Pot of Prosperity versions unless another different reprint ends up coming out for it. Hand traps for this metagame, Nibiru is starting to really spike over time here. The secret rares, you can see, have doubled over the last 3 months and are going towards $10. People are considering that for the format. Ghost Ogre just has so many different versions, it hasn't really spiked, but it's getting suggested a ton. Again, I'll say the prismatic secret rares are where I would be at, under $2 for such a nice version. I would have a playset and maybe extras for future trade, but the secret rare, the OG, has been coming down over time thanks to it being mid-max now. Between you have the ultimate rare, now the prismatic secret rares crept up from behind and it looks nice. First editions of this though are starting to run out of quantities. First here at 38, there's one copy, there's one more copy, and then they're like $55. So people are starting to go for even the higher version of this right now. Sprite starter here is up and way down on quantities as people are looking for this, and also also, it's good and masterable. We saw Mathmech end up going up, and also, speculation on the ban list clearing the way for Mathmech to be good again. We'll have to see the YCS for that. But Sprite Starter definitely way up in not only price, but down in quantities. Lava Golems also as a way to take care of boards. They have all gone insanely low on quantities. Good luck getting near mint ones at decent prices. Basically all $10 pluses now. Sphere mode is also starting to go even further down on quantities. It's the option people are going, well, it's not quite as good. I don't know about that one. A lot of boards putting up Baroness and other such things in the Cashier deck, so you are seeing that people are considering their options. The Ghost Rare is even up a couple of bucks, but it's so hard to speculate on the Ghost Rare because of quality control and people, ordering online, you still get it scratched. They say it's near mint. People want to get their copies in person when they go for a card like this, but how the lower end is starting to press up to where they're all similar, even the first edition Duelist pack versus that Ghost Rare staying somewhat stable but barely up. It'll be interesting to see where it goes to. Gravekeeper Inscription. So this card is up even more. Again, Jeff Jones did well with it, and it's heading towards $14, $15. I thought it was pretty darn under speculated on at the 10 and under range, and I do think it should be around an $18 card personally, but with this weekend, we'll see how it ends up performing versus the other decks. Fusion Deployment is apparently going up for branded. I don't know if this is copium or not. Let me know. But yeah, you have the OG version starting to spike up here, double in price, and actually way, way more. Holy heck, $8. I just looked at the first couple prices and saw this one was at like $5, but wow. Yeah, they go up all the way to $20 on the front page for the original. I like the secret rare more. I guess that's like just me, but yeah, this version's like $3.50, so I would just go for the secret if you're in the market for a nice looking version. Even the one out of the structure deck is super rare though, but yeah, wow, Echo just on full buyout mode for that. Amazing Defenders has a lot of price spikes going on. Again, this is going to be a heavily under-open set, kind of Ancient Guardians-esque in terms of people don't want to go for the pull ratios that are in there. However, the Purely are likely going to end up doing better than any deck that was out of Ancient Guardians. So there might be a little bit of hope for this sealed, but I'm not guessing too much. We'll have to wait and see. You do have the Collector Rare starting to go crazier to where people might end up speculating, though, and wanting them. A lot of them just pressing up an extra $10 for the Purely stuff. Even the Mechanico going up. We covered Isolde getting bought out there. But now it's like the Card Trooper on the lower end. Lower end quantities, almost gone. If you want to get yours, probably better to do so sooner than later. Like, a lot of these collector rares look pretty decent in terms of the set. And the ultra rares have been holding up steadier in price, but coming back down after the ban list hype. You have Mathmech, like I said, we covered several buyouts in this range. Sigma is also up over time here towards a max of like $5, $6. Sun Avalon along with Rika have been getting hyped. However, Rika is up for reprints over in Maze of Memories. They have a confirmed reprint, and it's actually the Teardrop Rika Queen, but all of these graphs for Rikas are oddly, similar, even though Rika Queen is confirmed on the set. Now, this is secret rare. It'll probably be highest rarity unless they gave it a collector rare, right? And people want their decks to mix, match, look nice together. So I can understand why people would be after it, but almost double in price. I don't think that's worth it with a confirmed reprint on the horizon. Now, Glamour could or cannot be reprinted. We don't know how many reprints they'll be doing along each card, right? Like, they could be taking care of one piece or another piece and trying to tie products into each other like they usually do. So you have to question how many Rika cards will actually end up making it in a tiny set list like Maze of Memories. There's not a lot of room in there, and they could be wanting to tie it into another reprint set on the horizon. But the Sun Avalon stuff, apparently the Rika Discord has been saying you better get this stuff now sooner than later because it's less likely to be targeted for reprints and plays alongside it, and it's a super strong contender in the metagame and also getting played a good amount on Dueling Book. And you do hear those rumblings whenever something actually takes off on Dueling Book en masse. It usually ends up taking a little bit of top cut here and there, and I have seen people testing it for the metagame on Twitter. So It's there in terms of people are saying it's going to do something. We'll have to wait and see. The YCS this weekend, we'll take a look. We'll see the feature matches. We'll see the hype, the memes, the moments, and I'm excited to see the actual panning out of where things end up, especially on the newest set, Photon Hypernova, versus today. I love having these kind of snapshots for market history of the before and after, and having that actual like window of, yep, this is exactly what happened right here. Thanks for watching, everybody.